Every woman wants to believe she's attractive to men, even the men she's not attracted to. She, in essence, wants to be objectified, but only on her terms. She wants to be viewed as a display case filled with the most succulent choice cuts of flesh, yet doesn't want to be viewed as a piece of meat. This is all because of the horrifying nightmare that she has, that she cannot be in control of her objectification. You see, her number one problem is she cannot accept her purpose as given by the Most High. You see, there was no thought of woman until the Most High saw that all the animals had a mate except man. Her first responsibility, before she was to be a helpmeet, she was created because man should not be alone. And that is the reason for her so-called objectification. You see, in her mind, it is objectification. But that is not truly what it is. It is simply her being in the role that she was made to be in. But see, that is one of the reasons that she thinks she's God. Because if she thinks she's God, she doesn't have to listen to God. Not our God. She can be her own God. And the reason she can be her own God is because she can walk around scantily clad. And they reference back to, well, there was a time in the past where societies didn't wear all of these clothes. We were nude then. They want to be nude. They want to be scantily clad because they want to be objectified. When it comes to women, exotic dancers or strippers, if you will, are undercover the most respected women. They have the most respected profession among women, the most desirable profession. There are many women who have never been strippers who would love to be strippers. I meet them all of the time, and they say that they would have been a stripper if they had been able to deal with being in front of those men and being touched. They don't have the wherewithal to show themselves in that capacity, but they enjoy the power that the flesh wields over men, which is something that someone would say if they are totally okay with being objectified. So you see, there are several reasons for this mix-up in her brain. And as I just stated, one, she cannot accept her purpose as given by the Most High. She doesn't want to be God. She doesn't want the responsibility of being God. But what she does understand is that her desire to be God is based solely on her need to be able to control the definition of her purpose. She wants to be objectified by herself. You see, the overwhelming majority of women are attracted to other women because they all view one another and themselves as objects. They just don't want to be viewed as an object by you. Another reason for her fear of being objectified is she understands she is an object of sensual desire. But she understands that means nothing to us. Once the sensual part is over, the desire part flees as well. She understands that. It may have taken her a few relationships that she thought were going to pan out into the lifelong fairy tale marriage, but she found out quickly that once the novelty wears off, we, for the most part, no longer even want to objectify her. She understands she is an object of sensual desire, so she promotes herself as an object of sensual desire. Billion-dollar sex toy industry because she's an object of sensual desire. Billion-dollar lingerie industry because she's an object of sensual desire. And she understands this. Many men have slept with beautiful women in one night, didn't even exchange names because she did not mind being objectified by that man. She simply wants to control her objectification. She doesn't want to end it. It is her identity. She understands it's her identity. So for the woman who does not build education and degrees and career objectives and all of these other things and parenthood and all. And when she doesn't incorporate those things into her life, all she has is her sensuality, her physicality. That is why the majority of women who have multiple degrees are not the most attractive woman. You find a woman who is considered very attractive, gorgeous even. She is not wasting her time toiling away in someone's classroom. Her beauty, her objectification capacity affords her the luxury of bypassing those things in order to get ahead, in order to come up, in order to live the life that she wants to live. You see, beauty is simply a term for capacity for objectification. The numbers we use, 1 to 10, anything above an 8 has a very high capacity for objectification. And you can see it in those women. They use these avenues to enhance their lives. Another thing that takes place, the woman who thinks she's God has the education. She doesn't have an amazing body. She does not really have a pretty face. She doesn't even have a good grade of hair. She doesn't have smooth skin. Her body looks kind of weird. You know, she's built bad. She doesn't have any of the great things going on. Her mindset is that of a woman who wishes she was a man, or a boy born inside of a woman's body, however you want to put it. And intimately, she is weak. She is not going to give you anything that you enjoy at all, ever. There's no man on the planet that can say he has a woman that has 5 degrees who gives him the most amazing sex he ever had in his life. But there are plenty of men who can say that hood rat that they got with, they have dreams about it right now. Let me tell you something, fellas. We cannot get upset about things like the slut walk. We enjoy those things. We want her to quantify herself by things like the slut walk. You see, we want her to promote herself via movements like the slut walk because these represent her acceptance of objectification. When she says, I can be a slut if I want to, you can't ridicule me for being a slut. What she's saying is, I know I am an object, but no longer will I allow you to ostracize me from consideration for marriage and relationships because I am an object. That is all she's saying. But the more women around you who condone that, it keeps you as a man level-headed. So when you think you've met that NAWALT, as the MGTOW community calls her, what I call her is the non-existent female. When you think you've met that non-existent female, you can understand that it all boils down to her ability to be objectified. So if you have a woman who has multiple degrees and she's making good money, what value is that to you if she cannot be objectified to your satisfaction? Objectification simply means making something an object. And when you are intimate with a woman, you want her to become an object. But you have this group of women to the right who cannot become objects because they think they have more value than that. And that is the bottom line. She thinks she has more value than that. And we know what happens when she thinks. She always has the wrong idea. She should just focus on feeling. That is her forte. So we want her to represent herself in the slut walk. And we want her to talk about body shaming. Nothing indicates objectification anymore than the body shaming movement. Even the slut walk doesn't suggest objectification more than that. See, I'll tell you like this. She knows that she is an object. She is subject to accepting herself as an object to the point in her own mind that even if her body looks disgusting, even if she looks like she should never uncover that thing in public, she will still expose it in all of its terribleness to the world. Because even the woman who is not attractive understands that objectification is a part of her character makeup. She understands that a part of the reason for her being is to be objectified. And now that all of these movements are coming out, even she, the same girl who used to just go to school, get all the degrees, she's the one who'd make all the money because she wasn't attractive. Now, with all of these new movements, even she can accept a position in the hierarchy of objectification. She can do that. She can be an object now. She can come out scantily clad with things hanging in places that they shouldn't be hanging. You see, this is not about body shaming. This is about body taming. If you don't want your body to be shamed, you should tame it. Don't let it run wild. Because she wants to be objectified on her terms. That is what social media has done. Social media has rendered her incapable of faking like she views herself as more than an object. That was a time when she could play it off and say, I don't want to be objectified. But social media is a powerful drug for those who are meant to be objectified. So there are women who uphold themselves in one way in public, but that social media bug has bitten them. And so there are pictures of them floating around all over social media. They cannot go without posting themselves. And their favorite stance is the side stance with the butt poked out. I've never met a woman who takes pictures online who didn't take a picture like that. Any woman I've ever met who didn't take pictures like that, didn't take pictures online, and also was very bad in the sex department. You see, either you accept that you're objectified and you're objectifiable, or you become something that no man desires. And that is the way this thing goes, man. This is the reality of life we're talking about, man. This is the reality of life. I tell you like this, man. Go on Instagram. There are very few women on Instagram. Very few, no matter what they profess to be. They can profess to be vegans. They can be voodoo priestess. They can be artists. They can be whatever they are. Very few women. When women follow me on Nubian King Vegan, when they follow me, I go check their profile. And if they're about veganism or they're about fitness and that is all they post about, there are certain women who have that one pic of them for their profile display pic, and everything else on their profile is about their topic. If she's an artist, nothing but her art. If she's vegan, nothing but her food. If she's a caterer, nothing but her food. Those are the only women I will follow on the platform. And when they start to post pictures of themselves, that means they have fallen victim to the objectification. And I don't have time to focus on objectification. There are women who make 6 figures, mid 6 figures, 7 figures, but simply objectifying themselves online, man. Objectification is big business now. So they must understand there's nothing wrong with being objectified. You are objectified. That's just what you are. That is what you are. And these women are married, in relationships, all types of things, and they show their bodies scantily clad all of the time. All of the time. And they can't be doing it for the money. You can't be doing it for the money if you got 2,500 followers. You ain't gonna make no money with 2,500 followers. Nobody's paying you to blast that out with 2,500 followers. You need at least 100,000. And at that point, you can make money off your objectification. Another thing, see, this is the thing. This is her problem with objectification. She knows that we objectify her, we see her for her true value. And her value is that objectification. Anything beyond that is value for herself. It means absolutely nothing to a man who has his own thing going on. Now let's get into this. She wants us to view her based on her false value systems, like education, career objectives, etc. Sorority affiliation, school. She wants us to view all of those things as value, but we can't, because she is an object to us. That is just what it is. She is an object. She will be objectified. So she wants us to value those false value systems while she objectifies herself as a sexual being. See, she doesn't mind being referred to as a sexual being. She just does not want to be viewed as one by you and I. We must view her in a false way. We must look at her false sense of value. She's the only one who can look at her only true value. She's trying to avoid the results of relationships that she's gotten her entire life. She's trying to avoid ending up being somebody else's baby mama. She's trying to avoid another failed relationship. She's trying to avoid another man being in control of the dynamic of the relationship. So she wants to create a false value system for herself. Now, if you ain't got no money and you ain't making no money and you ain't got no plan to make no money, then a woman making money is good to you. You think she's a great deal. But the woman who makes money is always going to be cheated on. Always. And when I say cheated, you know what I mean? If a man swears to a woman that's just going to be them two, if you lie to a woman like you just going to be with her and you don't, you're a cheater. You're a liar. You're a beta male. Beta males lie to women about what they're going to do. That's what I see. So what you have to understand is it is just a ploy on her part to not be viewed as the way she should be viewed, because that renders her powerless in the relationship dynamic. That is why dating is so powerful for them right now. Dating is powerful for them because if you're going to play the dating game, the way the dating game is constructed now, you will be on your very best behavior when you talk to a woman. So no matter what she has on, you will not make any sexual connotations to her. You will not say anything of an intimate nature to her unless you want her to vanquish you from her presence. And you know these boys be caring about that. You know they care if a woman vanquished them from her presence. They care. They care. They care about, they just care about these things. They care so much about being in her presence that they'll accept her rejection. They believe that it's a positive thing to accept her rejection. They believe it makes you a man to accept the rejection of someone who's beneath you. They believe that it makes you powerful. It makes you alpha. It makes you red pill to be willing to accept a woman's rejection. Hey, man, listen, she ain't valuable enough for me to accept her rejection. That's like me being rejected by my dog. You know what I'm saying? Why? I have the value. I love my dog, man. Bella's a great dog. She's a great pit bull, man. Let me tell you something. But how dare her reject me? I won't be rejected by her. Now, of course, I'm not saying, man, that women are dogs and then like that. Like dogs are animals, we're human beings. Just like they say men are dogs, we ain't dogs. No matter how we act, we ain't dogs. We're humans. That's just what we are. We're men. We're not any animal. We're men. But as far as the level of respect goes, yes, a woman must respect me like Bella does. Matter of fact, she better respect me more than Bella does. Bella respect the hell out of me. So what I'm saying is you and I must understand that her only reason for her fear of being objectified is that we'll control the dynamic of the objectification, which renders her adding another man and another man and another man and another man to her list of carousel rides. You see what I'm saying? She doesn't want to get the carousel rides that come with that. And that's the bottom line, man. This is what we must understand. Another thing is this, man. She will grant you objectification rights. Now, this is for the dating game. You playing the dating game, she'll grant you objectification rights if you work, play, and pay what her rate is. Yet she believes being scantily clad is not self-objectification, but self-expression, which is basically the same thing. You're expressing that you're an object when you come out scantily clad. Self-expression is based on what you're expressing. So if you're using self-objectification as self-expression, you're self-expressing the fact that you're an object. You believe in being objectified. But we as men tend to want to listen to rules because we value women so much. Now, don't get me wrong, man. Women are great. Women are great, but not great enough for me to let them make the rules in the way they interact with me. Not great enough to let them tell me what I can and can't say to them. Not great enough for them to tell me anything about what I can say or do or how I need to act or none of that around them. They ain't that valuable because there's always some out there that don't play that. All women ain't dumb, man. There's women out there, man, that are not caught up in this type of foolishness. There's women out there who understand that they're objects. They're perfectly okay with being objects, and they do their very best to maintain their beauty and be very beautiful objects for their man. I know them. I met them. Got one now. Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this real shit. And as always, alphas up, betas down. Peace.